Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got Ripples here posting on Twitter. Alts are between 90 to 95% down from their all-time highs. Now I'm getting very bullish on buys. Patience pays, as does a little dry powder on the sidelines. Algo, ADA, VET, IOTA are on the hit list. And of course, that is not financial advice. So we take a look at the market every single day, and, we haven't been noticing any positive swings to the upside. But, some altcoins are getting heavily decimated, more so than others. I've got XRP up here right now. XRP trading, in that same range that we've seen it being traded for the past few days. XRP right now trading at 34.7. Zooming in on the daily, you guys can see not too much movement for XRP. We've seen pretty much the same kind of thing over the last week or so. We have seen, a little bit of volatility up and down, but ultimately nothing to write home about. Some of the coins here that Ripples is talking about include Algo, so the Algorand token, ADA, Cardano's ADA, Vechain, and IOTA. Two of these I actually already do hold. So that was initially what caught my attention here. Algorand has been getting pummeled. We're seeing Algorand right now at 16.6, and you compare that to, for example, how XRP has been behaving over the last week or so. Algorand is actually down 22.35%. In that same period of time, whereas XRP really hasn't budged. Let me just get rid of those drawings. Let me zoom out here. You guys can see Algorand did hit its high back in November of 2021, so just over a year ago now. And for example, this particular cryptocurrency is down 94% off that high. So possibly a very good buying opportunity. The other thing we're noticing here is that it's coming right back down in this level of support. The lowest we've kind of ever seen. And it did wick down all the way down to 10 cents back in March of 2020 during that Black Swan beer flu lockdown period. But if you guys notice here, we are coming right back down in that area of support. I talked a little bit about Cardano's ADA as well. And you guys can see ADA, if I just remove some of that, ADA is down quite a bit too. So from that all-time high back in September of 2021, when we saw Cardano hit over $3, $3.16 roughly, even that one too is down 91%. Ripples didn't mention it, but I'm also going to bring up XLM because XLM, a very similar cryptocurrency to XRP. We did see, recently we did see that high back in May of 2021. And, even XLM is down about 90%. So, we're seeing some great deals here. Oh yeah, Vechain. Let me just bring up Vechain real quickly. Just taking a look at Vechain here, and Vechain did see its high back in April of 2021 when XRP did see its most recent high, and even Vechain is down 94%. So Vechain trading at 0.016, so just about a penny and a half per VET token. So a lot of these coins, guys, a steal of a deal. I know some of you guys are invested in HBAR as well. HBAR is another one of these tokens that has piqued my interest as of late. That one's down 92%. Again, none of this is financial advice, just going off some of these cryptocurrencies that others in the XRP community have noticed as being down quite a bit off their all-time highs. Another one is IOTA here, and IOTA was a big mover in the crypto bull run of 2017, 2018. It was in the top, I believe it was in the top 10 altcoins at that time. We're seeing IOTA down about 93% as well. So, on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, by the way, for those of you guys celebrating, we are seeing some great deals, Boxing Day specials ahead of time. I also noticed this, guys, so this was also published. Crypto billionaires lost $116 billion since March. The loss represents the collective personal equity of 17 people in the space, including 15 who have lost over half of their fortunes since March of 2022. So that would be March of this year, the bear market. And guys, not just the bear market, okay? We're talking about bankruptcies here as well. They mention this, the market and a wave of bankruptcies in the crypto industry has drained $116 billion from the pockets of founders and investors in the past 9 months, according to recent estimates by Forbes. The loss represents the combined personal equity of 17 people in the space, with over 15 losing more than half of their fortunes since March. As a result, 10 names were removed from the crypto billionaires list. Easy come, easy go, as they say. I've got the list up here, actually. Rand Nooner posted this. It's been a tough year for everybody here. Changpeng Zhao on the top of the list here, $65 billion is net worth, now down to $4.5 billion. But then we got guys like Sam Bankman-Fried, $24 billion, down to zero because of the bankruptcy. Brian Armstrong was at $6 billion. He's down to 1.5. Gary Wang, another employee at FTX, he's down to zero from 5.9 billion. Chris Larson from 4.3 billion down to 2.1 billion. So you guys can see Some of these guys have fared better than others. The Winklevoss twins, 4 billion respectively, down to 1.1 each. Barry Silbert, also down to 0 from 3.2 billion. Check this out though, guys. Jed McCaleb, 2.5 billion back in March, and now he's only down to $2.4 billion. So what does that tell you? Either Jed McCaleb was, I don't know, maybe lucky, or maybe he had the inside scoop on what was coming down the pipe and he sold before the news hit. You notice these crypto billionaires, by and large, most of them lost quite a bit of money. Meanwhile, Jed McCaleb only lost $0.1 billion. So $100 million. And I know in isolation that sounds like a lot, but you compare that to all these other people, even like Changpeng Zhao, 65 billion down to 4.5. Ouch. That is a huge decline in personal net worth. But guys, this is the time to gobble up the coins that solve problems. Again, 90 to 95% down. This is the chance for regular people, the chance to become a millionaire. So here we go. Another strategist also commented on this downturn. The strategist who nailed the 2022 Bitcoin downturn issues a fresh warning to crypto traders. So this guy here, Capo, he believes that the market's actually going to turn down even further, while Bitcoin bulls have managed to ignite a rally from the current bear market low to around 15,700. Capo says that the recent bounce is notably smaller compared to BTC's previous surges since June. He goes on to say every bounce is smaller, lower lows, lower highs, support becoming resistance. $12,000 is like a magnet. Now take a look at this chart, guys. You guys can see those bounces are diminishing in size. And we're noticing one here. So if that trend continues, we will likely see a lower price for Bitcoin. At the time of the writing, Bitcoin is changing hands for $16,800 approximately. A move to Capo's $12,000 target indicates an over 28% decline for the King crypto. So he is assuming a $12,000 Bitcoin. And I mean, there are others in the space who are assuming the same. He adds that the current trading environment in crypto and the stock market appears to be creating a perfect situation for a proper capitulation. Now, it's always been this way where we think it's the bottom and then boom, we've got another capitulation that would bring us down even further. So Bitcoin right now trading at 16.8, has been for a while. I remember that scenario, Christmas 2018. Right before then, right in and around here, we were basing, this was November 2018, and we were, trading in this range for about 2 months, if you guys can take a look here at the chart. And then all of a sudden, boom, another capitulation. And then this is when I thought, okay, it's got to be done finally here. And that's when I bought up a large portion of my Bitcoin position in and around $3,500. So, I mean, Capo is saying that we could, in fact, see something similar. And I mean, others are also saying that this is not the end for Bitcoin. We could, in fact, see it go lower. The macro conditions too, right? The stock market. So he goes on to say stock market bleeding, altcoins breaking key support, indicators pointing down, bulls getting euphoric and cocky for tiny pumps. Looking at the equities market, Capo says the S&P 500 remains in a downtrend after respecting its diagonal resistance. So just let me bring up the S&P 500 for a second here. You guys can see I've already marked it on the chart that we are seeing lower lows and lower highs. I guess the question is, are we going to go lower or are we going to rebound to the upside? Maybe this could be the first higher low. I guess we really don't know at this point. I mean, we do have to remain above this level here. So, of course, time will tell. But again, guys, 90, 95% off many of the altcoins. A lot of the time we do not see these types of buys. So something to be mindful of. And a lot of the time we hear about the doom and gloom and doom and gloom, yet, a lot of these cryptocurrency projects, they are just trading on spec. None of them are actually really trading on the real world utility that they are providing. And so I saw this recently from Sebastian. Vechain has just been recently highlighted in the master thesis, accounting and auditing of cryptocurrencies. Now, this is in a different language. I'm not sure what language this is. However, Vechain is mentioned here, and I'm going to take his word that this is the correct translation here. PwC services supply chain management and fraud protection and invested in the cryptocurrency Vechain, which meets the needs of companies. So Vechain was in fact mentioned in this particular thesis, another opportunity to leverage blockchain technology to provide a real-world solution to real-world problems. And, this particular application, supply chain management, we know Vechain does that really well. And Vechain, again, as I mentioned earlier, a steal of a deal. So wanted to thank Sebastian here for pointing that out. Also saw this guy's from Michael Branch. Now David Schwartz has come out, giving us a bit of an alternative perspective on where he thinks proof of work is going. And, we've heard the narrative, right? Proof of work is going to disappear. Well, David Schwartz actually thinks otherwise. Ripple CTO makes prediction on Bitcoin-like proof-of-work chain. So he's not suggesting it's going to be Bitcoin, but here's what David said, okay? He says the proof of work, the consensus mechanism that underlies the Bitcoin network and similar networks will not in fact go away. I don't think proof of work will go away. I think its popularity will drop, but there may be room for at least one proof of work chain in the long term. I hope Bitcoin isn't the token filling that particular niche, though. So is there room for proof of work, and will it not, in fact, be Bitcoin? The Ripple executive was responding to a Twitter user who had asked for his thoughts on whether Bitcoin mining would still exist past 2030 as governments push towards a sustainable green future. He rather believes that the popularity of the proof of work consensus mechanism might wane over time. Schwartz predicts that despite this, the proof of work chain would stand the test of time. However, he is not sure it would be Bitcoin. We know that its high energy consumption is likely not sustainable. Although I can see where he's going with this. I think I think I can get an insight into David's mind on what he's thinking here. There will be niche applications maybe for proof of work, which would in fact need that particular mechanism in order to produce cryptos. And I don't know what it is. It might not be on a large scale like the Bitcoin network, and it might be done in a way that's maybe a little more environmentally friendly. Like, who knows, the energy is produced by, I don't know, solar. I don't know. I'm just throwing an idea out there. But the proof of work mechanism itself, the idea surrounding it, where work gets you reward, I could see that staying over time. I mean, I could see what David Schwartz is saying too, right? The fact that it would wane. We do have more sustainable cryptocurrency algorithms. The XRPL, definitely a better solution for, many of the things that Bitcoin was set out to do. So, I mean, I don't think it's all one or the other. And I do think David Schwartz has a point here. So I wanted to thank Michael for pointing that out. Just real quickly here, did you guys hear the judge in the SBF case has recused herself over her husband's firm's past work with FTX. So a conflict of interest, and federal judge Ronnie Abrams of the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York formally withdrew from adjudicating the case on Friday afternoon, just one day after Bankman-Fried was released from custody. So I do apologize, this is older news. However, an interesting little twist here. Abrams' husband, Greg D. Anders, is a partner at the law firm Davis Polk & Wardwell, which advised FTX in 2021, according to Abrams' order. Though Anders herself did not personally advise FTX, Abrams chose to recuse herself from the case to avoid any possible conflicts or the appearance of one. The order also stated that Davis Polk & Wardwell previously represented parties that may be adverse to FTX and defendant Sam Bankman-Fried, though Anders allegedly did not represent those clients either. So even within the legal context in New York State, Sam Bankman-Fried has connections. FTX, definitely one of the bigger players, probably hired some of the top lawyers. And so, the community's small when it comes down to it. We may actually even see more of this kind of thing in the coming months as this lawsuit unfolds. So some interesting news there. Also, did you guys see this? Okay, most overvalued and undervalued blockchain platforms right now. This coming from Tasha here on Twitter. And she's actually indicated that the XRP platform is fairly undervalued in terms of its capabilities, in terms of what's going to be occurring on the XRPL compared to the price that it's trading at. So maybe another good indication of where those investment dollars should be going. Again, not financial advice, but just take a look at this. So she explains it here. Okay, at any point in time, you can think of a blockchain's platform valuation is determined by three things: adoption and usage, platform moat, crypto market conditions. How did these three factors affect token value and market cap? So number one, adoption and usage. It's the fundamental valuation driver. Users need a chain's native token to pay transaction fees. She continues by saying larger numbers of active users means more people need to hold at least some amount of that token, leading to higher token demand and driving up price. 'Tis a mechanical relationship that has nothing to do with speculative demand or expectation of price appreciation, hence a long-term valuation driver. Number two, platform moat. This affects investors' risk assessment of a platform. If a chain is perceived to have a large moat because, say, it's been around for a long time and has a strong community, more people will view it as a safer bet. Whether that view is correct or not is besides the point. Point is, perception of a bigger moat and lower risks allows tokens to command a premium price, all things considered equal. I call this a platform-specific markup. You'll see what this markup is in various chains in a minute. And then number three, crypto market condition, investor sentiment, i.e. level of risk appetite on crypto affects demands for all tokens. So does overall level of crypto adoption. There's no valuation of individual tokens to speak of without context of the overall crypto market. So all very interesting points here. We can use active addresses or transaction counts to measure a chain's adoption and usage while using total crypto market cap to proxy for market conditions. This gives us a chain's valuation, A1. So then she just goes into the formula here. So A1, active addresses or transaction counts, plus A2, total crypto market cap, plus platform-specific markup. So then she continues by giving us some examples, and I will link this in the description if you guys want to read the full thing. But guys, here are some charts and some predicted active models. Down here, number 17, she actually talks about Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse correcting her, I think you mean XRP. But take a look at the chart, guys. The actual model is actually trading lower, so that would be the green, rather than the predicted active address model, which is in the red up here, and the predicted transaction count model, which is in the blue. So the actual model trading lower versus what the prediction, in fact, should be for that particular cryptocurrency. So I thought that was interesting. Considering all the partnerships, I can see why, in a spec market, I can see why. The actual valuation is just not matching up with the predicted valuation. King Solomon here also bringing us this. So this is interesting. This has to do with the Reserve Bank's project. Okay, the Reserve Bank projects that each of the individual service lines will achieve full cost recovery in 2023, except, get this guys, except for the Fedwire Fund Services and the National Settlement Services. The Fedwire Fund Service and the National Settlement Service are expected to under-recover because of ongoing technological advancements. Note that. Now that is FedNow, that's Fedwire. This is from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, and we know FedNow or Fedwire leveraging Volente Technologies, which in fact is supported by RippleNet, one of their partners. So it's looking as though there is active technological investing here from the Fed, specifically naming Fedwire and their services. So interesting, to know those connections and just to see that they have actually outright stated it in their most recent report. So wanted to thank King Solomon for pointing that out. So we got the XRPL, an underrepresented, undervalued blockchain. Can we get to 5 digits? Well, Valhil Capital CEO Jimmy Valley maintains that we still can. This is from a recent interview posted by Digital Asset Buy, guys. Listen to this.
I understand people hear a big number and like, oh, that's ridiculous, but I just think they're not thinking about it correctly. If you started to think about it from the perspective of, okay, it is clear to us now that the government has suppressed on purpose the adoption of the asset. Why are they doing that, right? What is the ultimate goal? Can the government come out and definitively tell us they're not going to use XRP in transactions going forward? They can't do that because, of course, they are going to use it. So, we're providing that counterbalance, that party out there that's saying, no, if the use case is fully realized and, all assets are tokenized and the XRPL becomes the layer one that all value transmits on, which has been the stated goal since the beginning, that's been reconfirmed by the World Economic Forum, by the IMF, certainly Ripple. I mean, it's been discussed in professional circles plain as day in multiple, readings. That's what everybody has learned as they've done their research. So we're just trying to put a number on that, right? What is that?
So there you guys have it. Jimmy Valley not backing away from his original prediction, a 5-digit XRP. Basically what Valhil Capital is doing is putting a value on everything that he explained there. And notice he says the US government has never said that they're not going to use XRP. I mean, if they weren't planning on using it, they could comfortably come out and say, no, we're not using cryptocurrency. We're not using any specific cryptocurrency. I think a blow to the XRP community would be, we're not using XRP, but they are not coming out and saying that, considering we know about the connections with the reserve banks, Fedwire, also the fact that they are mentioning that they will likely have a shortfall because of ongoing technological investments, specifically for Fedwire, and considering we know the partnership with Fedwire, Volpe, and Volente Technologies leveraging RippleNet, I mean, it only makes sense to me that this coin is so undervalued right now, and that we're on the precipice of something big, guys. Tash even pointed it out here with her actual versus predicted market cap models. So what do you guys think? Are you buying more XRP or other altcoins? I know I've asked this a few times now. I mean, maybe you're still waiting for another leg down. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments and wishing you guys a Merry Christmas to all those who are celebrating. I'll see you in the next one, guys.